Hey guys, welcome back. Today, we need to talk about things that are very important and I feel like need to be discussed. So, let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is bullying. There are lots of bullying in high school, in middle school, in elementary school, pretty much everywhere. There's some sort of bullying and it is never, ever okay. Absolutely no one ever has the right to make fun of someone or make somebody feel bad for whatever reason. I'm talking physically, whether that's like beating somebody up, that's not cool, or verbally. It's not okay to call somebody names. It's not okay to tell somebody mean, hurtful things that don't need to be said. Nobody has any idea what is going on in somebody else's head. They might be going through something. They might be feeling stressed or angry or upset or hurt, and somebody bullying them is only going to make it worse, and they don't need that. They can't take that. Nobody can take that. Nobody should deserve to have that. Their parents could be fighting late at night when they don't think they hear them, or they could be hoping that somebody can give them money that they need to be able to eat that night, and that's hard when you don't have everything you need. Somebody might be struggling and you can't make them feel bad. It's just not right. Or maybe they've been bullied so much that they don't eat anything just so that they don't have to be called fat anymore. Or maybe you've pushed them so far and so much that they just can't take it anymore, and they do something that can never, ever be undone. We are all equals. Nobody, no matter the color of their skin, no matter their gender, no matter their sexuality, no matter what's in their wallet or what number comes up on the scale, nobody should be bullied, because underneath all that, we are all skin, blood, and bone, and we are all the same. Some people still like to think it's the 19th century. It isn't. We should all be equal. After all this time, men and women are still not treated as equally as they should be. It's not all bad though, because a lot of people are starting to realize that women and men are completely equal to each other. Because, like I said earlier, everybody is skin, blood, and bone, and that's never gonna change. Women are not objects. Girls are not just things that you can use for your games. The amount of sexual harassment is way too much. Women in the workplace are getting sexually harassed. Girls in middle school and high school are being sexually harassed. It's disgusting. And it needs to stop. We need to do something about this. If we see somebody getting harassed or even bullied, we need to do something about it. You can't just assume that somebody else is going to do something about it because there's a bunch of people around. If nobody's doing something about it, you need to do something about it. In fact, everybody needs to do something about it. Because that way the bully is going to stop and the victim can feel safe again. Women have power over their own bodies. No matter what they say or or do or wear, boys and men will never ever have that power over them. No means no. It does not mean ask again or keep doing what you're doing. It means no, and it means stop. The sad thing is many people are too afraid to speak up if they have been sexually harassed. What's worse is the harasser tells them to be quiet or threatens them so that they won't say anything, and so that the harasser will never get caught. And that's a horrible thing to do. You want to know what's crazy about all this? It's that when some girls finally do speak up, sexual harassment culture would say beautiful women should expect to be called that or looked at that like that, or if they're ugly, they should be happy that they got that attention. Nobody deserves to have that happen to them. Nobody. If it's not wanted, it's not welcome. Ever. It's not okay. And everybody is beautiful, but no one deserves to be treated like that. Girls should be able to wear whatever they want without having to worry that somebody is going to call them names on the street or look at them that way or touch them or tell them to do things that they don't want to do, because it's not right. Sometimes society will say boys will be boys, and that's not right. It just isn't, because that gives them more of an excuse, and it's sickening, because then we're less of victims and more of she shouldn't have worn that or she shouldn't have done that, because it is never ever the victim's fault. It is always the harasser's fault, no matter what. They control themselves. Nothing plays into what they did. But the sad thing is that girls aren't the only ones who get sexually harassed. Boys get sexually harassed all the time, and I feel like we need to pay more attention to them, because they might think, oh, well, everybody's paying attention to the girls getting sexually harassed, when that's still needed. It still needs to be seen and heard and realized, but boys being sexually harassed also needs to be seen and heard and realized, because many boys or men get sexually harassed and they have feelings too. They're not the only... girls are not the only victims. That's what I'm trying to say. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the shooting that happened in Florida. I know many of you have heard about that and have been talking about it on social media, but I also wanted to put an input on that. 17 kids were shot and killed, and some were sent to the hospital because of injuries. Shootings of any kind are so cruel and so inhumane, and it's heartbreaking hearing that on the news. It just is. And the way that he did it was made it even worse. For those who don't know, he pulled a fire alarm, and so that everybody would go out in the hall, and then he shot. That means he wanted to kill as many people as he could, and that is absolutely horrible. That should have never happened. This world should be a safe place, not a place for terrorism or school shootings or anything like that. So let's restore our faith in humanity and help bring back the good in the world, because I know there is lots and lots of good in the world, but we just need to embrace it and create more good in the world and help the people who need help and raise awareness for the things that need raised awareness of, because only then will the world truly be a better place.